Hello, good morning, everybody. It's just barely the morning. I'm so proud of myself. So it's February 11th, 2019, and it's time for the messages of the week. So there's this big wave of truth coming through this week. So be aware of reacting or being reactive and notice when this is happening and why. Is it going to be possible for you to wait, respond, be in more of a place of response? And this way we can better align to our own flow and truth. Good morning. So happy to see you. So we really want to keep connecting in with our own truth, and that's what a lot of this reading today talks about. Because when we react, we're kind of jumping onto someone else's truth, and we're not really giving ourselves time to be in a place of response and a place of understanding where we're coming from. So our cosmic supporter is shifting from Mercury to Mars, and for now, and that is going to bring some newness and adventure, as well as we are supported to move forward on our more spiritually developed paths. So that's exciting. You know, all of this work that we've been doing as seekers and as humans on the planet, we are all of this is, we know it's for a higher good, but we are this week we're kind of on that higher path, that more developed path. And so we'll start to feel some more sense of ease. So that's good. Okay, moving along. Our crystal deliciousness of the week is citrine, one of my all-time faves. I have citrine all over my house. Lots of abundance here. It also helps with creative thinking, inspiration. It frees the mind of limitations. It really helps to bring ideas into reality, and it brings us some physical vitality. All really good for this week, which includes Valentine's Day, right? So we want to be really in this place of creativity, second chakra, so which supports and helps us in many ways, right? Okay, so our oil blend of the week is Balance, really just an old fave for so many of us. So I am going to put Balance on my wrists and then rub it in kind of up and down my forearm. This is a great one to put on the back of your neck, the spine, and then that zeal point chakra, which is right at the tippy top of your spine, right where your occiput is, right in that little divot in there is your zeal point chakra. And we've talked about this before, how it kind of connects in with our third eye, which I put everything on my third eye anyway. So then you can do that connection between third eye and zeal point, and then third eye and zeal point, switching your pointers, which will connect it. The pointers bring the energy out to the pointer fingers. So we want to do that. This is also the Jupiter finger in yoga. Wisdom. Yay. So use those babies. Good morning, Liza. Thank you. I took a shower this morning. Isn't that nice? Yeah, washed my hair. That's what happens. Then it kind of looks, maybe a little bit better. Anyway, not that it ever looks bad, but you know what I mean. All right. So that's what we're going to do with Balance. So stability, grounding, being present in the present, being aware. It reminds us that in our goals, dreams, aspirations, desires, that we must stay stable and focused on those dreams and desires. It helps us to persevere. It brings us inner strength, fortitude. And remember, as remember, Balance has all of these tree oils in it. And what trees remind us of is that we can be strong, steady, tall, but that we also, there's movement always in trees. And so that shakiness that we sometimes feel of finding our way is a part of being a tree, a part of nature, a part of being a human. So we can still stay the course, even though we shake and waver. Yeah, so like do tree pose, do some yogic tree balances, you know, and that will remind us that you can actually stay tall and steady. And what brings us back to this is our very most human aspect of the breath. So anyway, that's that. Okay, moving along, we have 4 pretty powerful cards from some different card decks this week. Okay, so the first one is our Sacred Rebel, who we love, right? Alana Fairchild, her Sacred Rebels. Okay, so this one I've never gotten before. Softly, softly, the tender touch. So look at this beautiful artwork. Anyway, so the divine feminine wisdom is that sense of gentleness, inviting what we want and not pushing for what we want. So when we invite things into our space, it's a totally different feeling, right? It's the same type of thing that we were just talking about with reacting or responding. So when we invite, when we bring in the divine feminine, imagine yourselves like sitting back at the table instead, and maybe leaning, instead of being right up in the face of this is what I want and I want it now. Like, feel the feeling of what it feels like to sit back and to take a breath and to bring in the divine feminine, to bring in that feeling of allowing, of I'm creating the space for everything that I want, and now I'm just going to allow it to flow in because I'm ready for it. Totally different. So it's like working smarter instead of working harder, working in a more efficient way in terms of your life, instead of pushing all the time and being so single-minded and like in your sympathetic nervous system with your adrenals all on fire. When you push and you never lean back and respond and invite and cultivate, yeah, it's a totally different feeling. It's way more stressful. So when we cultivate an energetic affinity for what we want, we can then envision it, right? We can see it in our dreams. We can journal about it, and we are literally creating the space for that. So this card is about, we've learned so much already in these past couple of years for some of us, 5-10 years for some of us, as seekers. Now is the time to really change our approach to how we move forward. And when we change our approach in this way, we're actually cultivating and manifesting on a way bigger, way bigger scale. We're contributing really to a whole new consciousness of how to move through this time of Earth and of being here. And this is going to really support and help all of humanity and of our global community and of our planet right now. So that's kind of a big one, isn't it? So cool. All right. Whew. Next, focus on the positive. So this is James Van Praagh's, Messages from the Guides that focus on the positive, really? Anyway, I did not like this card. I really don't like this deck. but obviously I'm still using it because, but there's something in it that triggers me, and I don't know exactly what it is. It's very blunt. But what I love about this is as I read it and meditated on it and then brought in what came up for me when I was reading it, not just the annoyance part, but it actually fits perfectly, of course, into today, which is that every event, experience, every person who comes into your life has a purpose of being a lesson. And if we keep looking at situations as being lessons, then, hi, Jimmy. If we look at people as being lessons and situations and not being negative or positive, black or white, if we look at things as being lessons and a part of our soul's growth and journey, then again, that's a whole different way of looking at our lives. But in terms of focusing on the positive, what this, I believe, is really bringing to us is how much energy do we want to spend on these lessons, right? So let's say a certain lesson comes in, a certain situation, experience, person, whatever, and it can be a pretty intense one with lots of lessons, and it can wind up being negative or heavy. So I wonder if we then choose to spend less time on it. So that's what they're kind of talking about, is how much energy do you want to put there? Once the lesson has taught you the lesson, you can move on. And even if the other person is wanting to stay stuck in that place, you don't have to, right? You don't have to. So I think that's what we're meaning by focus on the positive, not just like, let's only look at the positive and never look at maybe the reality of a situation. Let's sugarcoat or let's spiritually bypass. No, that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about how much effort and focus are you going to put on each on all of your lessons. Right. Okay. Next one. There's nothing to worry about. Isn't that nice? I'm so glad that they told us about that. These are these angel cards. I forget where the book is. Anyway, so there's nothing to worry about. So isn't that nice? You're safe. The angels are surrounding you and we're all fine. So this was just a reminder after some kind of intense cards. Our final card of the day is an Andara card, which comes from this super cool deck, Andara Oracle cards. Erica Rock, she's here in New Hampshire. It's, again, an activation card. So when you look at this part, I'm going to leave it, I'm going to hold it here for everyone to focus on so that it can help to activate you. So it activates our own deep inner space where we can rest in the arms of our inner divine and experience peace, serenity, and tranquility. So this helps to bring us access to our own pure presence, which is just so beautiful. When we are here, we are the light of the world. And this will help to support our clear self-expression, communication, and effortless action, again, of creating and cultivating space to then allow all of our dreams and desires and highest amazing good to come in. So this also helps to support releasing old stagnant energies, patterns, and ways of thinking. We can learn to thrive in this different way. So it supports peace of mind. And this one is called the Andarian Oceanic Blue-Green. So the oceanic piece of it is that it brings in the lifeblood of the earth, which is the ocean. So all of this is helping to support us. So it's helping us to release old patterns so that we can then, form these new ways of moving forward, that we've been given all kinds of the go-ahead today, right now. for this next week. So have a gorgeous, amazing week. Thank you all for being here. I hope that you have a beautiful, loving week. Love yourself. Enjoy Valentine's Day. Enjoy, number one, finding more reasons to love yourself first. The more we can love ourselves, the more we can love others. So, namaste, thank you, and I love you all. We'll talk to you soon.